Welcome back to Hollow Street. We've dived into haunted houses, whispered legends, and explored all those spooky things that go bump in the night. But today, we're switching gears a bit and diving into something that doesn't just haunt a place, but seems to haunt time itself. Yep, we're talking about the clocks of Hollow Street. These old timepieces have been silent witnesses to our town's history for years, and trust me, their stories are as captivating as they are eerie. Picture this: grandfather clocks in dusty antique shops, cuckoo clocks hidden away in forgotten attics, and ornate mantelpiece clocks that haven't chimed in decades. Each one of these clocks is like a tiny tombstone, marking a moment that's been lost to time. But then, something mysterious happened. An old, reclusive man, rarely seen around here, started catching people's attention. He's known only as the Clockmaker, and let me tell you, his story is anything but ordinary. No one really knows his real name or where he came from. He lives in that crooked little house at the end of the lane, the one with the overgrown garden and those curtains that never seem to open. Folks around here whisper that he's a hermit, a quiet soul who prefers to be left alone. But here's the kicker: he has this peculiar hobby. He collects the broken clocks of Hollow Street. Can you imagine? He'll show up at someone's doorstep, gently knocking, this stooped figure with kind, tired eyes, and he'll ask for their old, non-working timepieces. And here's the wild part: he never asks for money. He just wants the clocks. Most people are more than happy to part with them, glad to get rid of what they see as junk. He takes these clocks back to his workshop, and a few days later, he returns them, all polished and pristine. But here's where it gets really interesting. Every single clock he repairs, no matter what it looked like before, starts ticking again. For a brief, hopeful moment, time feels like it's been restored, but then, just as quickly, it stops. And here's the unsettling twist: every single clock, from the grandest grandfather clock to the tiniest travel alarm, stops at the exact same time, 1:13. Can you believe it? The hands forever frozen, pointing to a moment that seems to hold some terrible significance. At first, it was just a quirky little town mystery, a fun conversation starter. People began showing off their Clockmaker clocks, all pointing to 1:13. It became this strange, unifying symbol for Hollow Street. But as more clocks joined this silent chorus, a quiet unease started to settle over the town. Why 1:13? What on earth happened at that exact moment? Naturally, theories began to bubble up, as they always do in a place like Hollow Street. Some folks claim that 1:13 was the time of a forgotten train crash just outside of town, a tragedy that had somehow been erased from the official records. Others whispered it was the moment a secret pact was made, a deal with something ancient that put our town on the map. The more imaginative folks in town even speculated it was a countdown, or rather, a count up to a future event. They believed that when the real 1:13 arrived on a specific day, something monumental would happen. The theories ranged from the mundane to the utterly bizarre. But here's the kicker: no one had any proof. The Clockmaker himself, he was a closed book. If anyone was brave enough to ask him about the significance of that time, he'd just offer a sad, knowing smile and change the subject. His silence only deepened the mystery, leaving everyone more curious than ever. So, I decided to dig deeper. My investigation kicked off at the town archives, a place filled with the dusty scent of aging paper and forgotten stories. I spent days poring over old newspapers, birth certificates, and town meeting minutes, searching for any event, any tragedy, or any celebration that occurred at 113. But you know what? I found nothing. It was a total dead end. The Times seemed to have no historical anchor in Hollow Street's past, which was frustrating. So, I switched gears. Instead of hunting for an event, I started looking for a person. Anyone connected to the Clockmaker. Anyone who might have known him before he became the town's enigmatic hermit. That's when I stumbled upon a name, almost by accident, tucked away in an old school enrollment list from 50 years ago. Elias Thorne. Elias Thorne. The name felt important, like a puzzle piece that was finally falling into place. According to the records, he was a bright but quiet boy, known for his incredible skill with mechanical things. This kid could fix anything, from broken toys to complex engines. His father was the original watchmaker in town, the owner of Thorne and Sons Timepieces, a shop that sadly closed down decades ago. And guess what? The shop was located right where the Clockmaker now lives. It was like the pieces of this mysterious puzzle were starting to fit together. But even with this revelation, I still didn't have the answer to the mystery of 113. It only gave it a name. I needed to know what happened to Elias. What turned this promising young boy into a reclusive old man obsessed with a single moment in time? The real breakthrough came from Mrs. Gable, one of Hollow Street's oldest residents. This lovely lady remembered Elias well. She told me he wasn't just a gifted mechanic, he was a boy in love. Her name was Lena. According to Mrs. Gable, Elias and Lena were inseparable. They had plans to leave Hollow Street together, to see the world. Can you imagine? Elias even built a special clock for her as a wedding gift, a masterpiece of gears and cogs, designed to chime a unique melody only they knew. It was romantic, right? They were supposed to leave on the afternoon train, the one that departed at 1:15. But on that fateful day, Lena was running late. She was coming from the other side of town and had promised to meet Elias at the station. There he was, waiting on the platform, holding his beautiful gift for her. He watched the station clock, his heart pounding with every tick. 1:10, 1:11, 1:12. He scanned the road, hoping to see her running toward him. And then, at exactly 1:13, a commotion erupted at the far end of the platform. There had been an accident. A horse-drawn carriage, startled by a backfiring automobile, lost control and veered onto the sidewalk. And guess what? Lena was right in its path. By the time Elias reached her, it was too late. She was gone. And in his hands, the clock he had made for her stopped ticking, its hands frozen forever at 1:13. That moment, that was when Elias's world ended. He never left Hollow Street. Instead, he locked himself away in his father's old shop, surrounded by the ghosts of time. He became the Clockmaker. But here's the thing, he wasn't just fixing clocks. He was building monuments. Each clock he repaired was a memorial to Lena, a headstone marking the exact second his happiness was stolen from him. He was trying to stop time, to force the entire town to stand still with him in his grief. The clocks weren't broken, they were perfect. They were telling his story. They were all screaming the same silent number, a testament to a love lost and a life frozen in a single, tragic moment. The mystery of 113 wasn't about a train crash or a secret pact. It was about a broken heart. So, the next time you walk down Hollow Street and see a clock with its hands pointing to 113, you'll know the truth. It's not a curse or a premonition. It's a love story. It's the story of Elias Thorne, the clockmaker, who has spent a lifetime trying to pause the world, hoping that if he can just hold that moment long enough, maybe, just maybe, he can go back to it. Here on Hollow Street, time doesn't always heal all wounds. Sometimes, it just stops. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of our town's deepest secrets. Don't forget to subscribe for more tales from Hollow Street. Until next time, stay curious and keep your eyes on the clocks. You never know what stories they might hold.